You'll be able to check that out and see the improvements on there. Actually, we're going to have Jordan from Grove Street on here in a second to talk about some of those improvements. But if you're in the area, stop down and you can actually see them firsthand and play it. It's amazing. And we also just went through some of the teasers. So we went through the Carcharodontosaurus dossier. We went through some of the cinematic content that will be coming to all platforms later this year. So the voiceover on the dossiers, the Explorer notes being voiced over by our excellent top-notch talent. And if you missed it, we're also going to roll the Scorched Earth Ascension again. So let's go ahead and roll this. Awesome. Well, as I was grabbing a drink, I thought that video was going to be a little longer. As I was grabbing a drink, we have now, in the magic of live streaming, we have now brought in Jordan. Jordan is from the Grove Street team. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Jordan?
I'm Jordan. I work at Grove Street Games. I'm a producer over there. And yeah, we're bringing ARK to the Switch.
Awesome.
And, very excited about it.
Awesome. Let's make sure his levels are okay. We're all good there. Awesome. So if you don't, I think we were on a stream together a few months ago.
Yeah, we're
Twitch.
Reunited.
Yeah. This is the first time we've
good.
seen each other, though, in person.
That's
so
right.
it's been good.
And we even inadvertently color coordinated our
Yeah,
outfits
we
today,
planned each other's outfits out for each other, so it's been great. No, we were on a stream and we kind of talked a little bit about, the upcoming changes to Ultimate Survivor Edition. The Nintendo Switch launch is coming out a little bit later this year. But let's just, if you're just new to Switch and you're new to ARK, let's just talk about what Ultimate Survivor Edition is and what that is on Switch. So what is that, Jordan?
So Ultimate Survivor Edition is basically bringing the Switch game up to parity with PlayStation and Xbox. So players on Switch are going to have the same experience that they can get on those other consoles. So what that means is that a whole bunch of new content is coming to the game. Everything you can expect, the expansion maps, the community maps, a lot of the new stuff we just showed off on this stream, right, is coming to the Switch game first. And yeah, just improvements across the board, which I'd love to, talk a bit more about as we look at this gameplay here.
Yeah, I think if you didn't, he went over things a little bit quickly, but I think if you didn't hear him, all the community maps, pretty much a par for par, is that right? For what's on PC and basically what they should expect.
Everything. I mean, we're talking all the expansion maps, right? So you're getting Scorched Earth at launch, right? And then I should be clear, the plan here is that all these other maps will be coming every other month.
I think we have a graphic we can show. If they can cut to that graphic real quick. There's a Nintendo, but you can keep talking. But
yeah, sure. So essentially, by this time next year, all of the maps will be out. We're releasing them at approximately 2 maps every other month is the plan. So yes, you'll have Scorched on launch, and then all the expansions: Aberration, Extinction, Genesis 1, Genesis 2, all the community maps, starting with not starting with the center. That'll be one of the later ones released, but the center. We're doing Fjordor, we're doing Crystal Isles, Lost Island. 2 more that are escaping me at the moment, but yeah, we're gonna have everything.
That is, I just want to, just kind of pause and take it in. At least as an ARK player, That is a lot of content.
It is.
It is. We don't want to shy about this at all. It's a lot of content. If you're not familiar with the content in ARK and you're newer to the ARK series, that's a lot of maps, a lot of content. It is essentially what the experience you will get if you load it up on PC or load it up on Xbox. You're getting the same experience on Switch and in handheld.
That's right. I mean, that's what I think is so great about what we're doing is that our goal essentially here is to make the ultimate ARK experience that you can take in the palm of your hands, right? So not even to throw shade at the other game we worked on, ARK Mobile, you know, I mean, we're taking it up a notch. We're bringing the full ARK experience to Switch, and we're really making it one of the best places you can play, right? We've done a lot of improvements to the game. One of the things that is my personal favorite is the virtual cursor in all of the menus. So that, for me, being a traditional ARK player and playing it on other consoles or on PC, and now having that virtual cursor when you're using a controller to just navigate the menus and drag stuff around to remote inventories and things like that. I mean, it just
Let me tell you,
it feels like a game changer.
No, it does.
It's
And if
great.
you're down at PAX, be sure to stop by the booth and check it out. It's easily understated. We're talking about it in such an understated way, but it really makes a tremendous difference on your experience and the quality of life that you feel as you're playing the game. So, I mean, that's just one, you know, an addition that
It's just one, right?
yeah,
I mean,
it's
there,
just-
you know, there's improvements across the board. Even, you know, traditional players will boot it up and right away notice some things we've changed to the main menu, right? Of just little. That's essentially, we don't want to change the design of the game, right? We're not trying to mess with the design. This is the same exact game, but we just wanted to make little improvements here and there that just really make it a great experience, and especially for players on Switch who may be new to the game. I mean, it's just very welcoming and inviting right from the get-go. And that's our goal, you know?
Yeah, and I think the changes that you're making makes it very applicable for the format being handheld. Just like the cursor. ARK is a very, you know, it's a lot of content. There's a lot of stuff that can be in your inventory. There's a lot on the screen. There's a lot of information to take in. And I think the Grove Street team has done an excellent job at kind of giving you a good experience, a handheld experience in the Switch with the cursor, and you're not overwhelmed. I mean, for me at least, I'm speaking from my own personal experience. I'm not overwhelmed. And you know, in the prior, I played on other handhelds. I played Switch. You know, it's very easy to get overwhelmed with navigation when you get inside of menus and inventories.
And that's a lot of why we made some of the changes we did is. For example, some players have already noticed that we slimmed the hotbar down to 8 instead of 10, right? And perhaps, you know, really our idea there is if you look at what the controller mappings are for selecting the hotbar, you had to do these crazy button combinations because everything on a controller is in groups of 4, and here we've got 10 things. So, you know, if you remember, you had to like hold down one button while you're selecting it. So we're just trying to like streamline it and just make it an enjoyable experience that, especially if you're a new player, does not get confusing with like lots of complicated controls. We've redone the options menu as well so that you've got a lot more streamlined and it's a lot more clear of what you can change for your game and make it suited to how you want to play ARK.
And it really makes a ton of difference. All these little changes, and I know you're saying you want to change the game major, and I think that, you know, it's important. The ARK experience is the ARK experience, but all these little changes you're doing makes the ARK experience better. In my opinion, of course, I'm speaking from my own personal experience. It makes it a lot easier to manage, a lot easier to see the things that are going on. Just like you said, I really like the change of narrowing down the items you can select in the menu because it just makes sense, you know, and it's a lot easier to navigate for me. And we're just talking about some of there's visual changes as well, visual upgrades. That come along with this, right?
I mean, as you can see on the stream right now, the game, you know, it looks pretty much just as it does on PlayStation and Xbox. You know, we've got a very talented team at Grove Street, and they've really just kicked ass, for lack of a better word. You know, I mean, you look at what you're seeing here on stream, and the game just looks really great. It looks great. You know, some players I know on our last question were asking about docked mode. We're showing handheld here, but I can assure you, if it's docked, it looks just as good as well. And it performs great in both modes. We're really just, you know, across the board, you know, you're looking at great shadows, great lighting, great textures. We've talked about the performance. I mean, another thing that I'm really proud of is the load times. If you're booting this game from, let's just use single player as an example, and you go hit launch Scorched Earth, you're playing Scorched Earth in 20 seconds. I mean, it is on all the platforms, perhaps the fastest loading one. And I mean, the team's kicking ass.
That is
back in
amazing.
GameStone, you know?
I'm not even going to lie to you. The first time that they showed me footage from this from this build, I actually thought it was Xbox. They didn't tell me what it was from. They
We
just
snuck
sent
an
it to
Xbox
me.
into the Switch
I
casing.
actually thought it was an Xbox video. So it just goes to show the level of attention that you put into this upgrade, the hard work that the team is doing. And we didn't even mention this, but isn't there a free upgrade for current users?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So anyone who already owns ARK Survival Evolved on Switch is getting all of our improvements for free. So all the improvements that we're making for the base game, what we just went over, the load times, the visual fidelity, all of that stuff, you're getting that for free. It will come as a patch on release day for everyone who owns ARK Survival Evolved. And the people who own ARK Survival Evolved are also going to get ARK Dinosaur Discovery, which is a new experience that we've got coming, which is geared towards kids. It's essentially stemming from a lot of us on the team having children and having them come up and see us playing the dinosaur game and wanting to play and being like, maybe you don't want to get pounced by a raptor right away.
Yeah.
You're 4 years old, you don't quite have this down. So we'll be showing a lot more of Dinosaur Discovery later this month. But yeah, we've essentially taken ARK and made a streamlined mode that is just really simplified and fun for kids and filled with facts for them to learn about real dinosaurs. And it's all voiced by HLNA. She's guiding us through the mode.
Amazing.
So it's really
And I think that's a beautiful just kind of integration with our community, because I know a lot of our community players play with their kids, or they either play because of their kids or they force their kids to play because they play.
So now you can hand the Switch off to them and feel comfortable that they'll be able to play, and they're not going to be like, how do I craft, how do I do such and such? It's all just very
And I imagine
simple.
they'll probably learn a little bit more. It's a little bit more streamlined in terms of learning.
Very
things.
streamlined,
And,
yes.
So as he said, they'll share a little bit more about that later, but I am really excited to hear about that. I know the community is probably really excited to hear about that. I saw a lot of comments about it, in the Twitter sphere, people asking about what the kids' experience would be like. So you'll hear more, but
You will. We can't wait to show you guys. Right now, we just want to talk about Ultimate Survivor Edition.
Yep.
And so to your point, those who own the base game, you will have the option of purchasing the Ultimate Survivor upgrade.
Okay.
So if you want to get everything, it's a great value. I think out of the box, the Ultimate Survivor Edition will be $49.99.
And just so everybody knows, what does that include?
So Ultimate Survivor Edition, right? It's great value, $49.99. You're going to get everything.
Gotcha.
So if you don't own anything about ARK on Switch, you pay $50. You're getting the base game. You're getting all the expansion maps. And
safe to say, all the content ARK has.
Right. You're getting everything. You get everything, right?
Sync.
And it all gets delivered, as we talked about, over that timeline. And then if you already own ARK Survival Evolved, the base game, then you can opt to buy the season passes individually, or just buy the Ultimate Survivor upgrade for $40 and get everything that way.
Okay.
So, again, if you look at how we've set things up, the studios set it up on Xbox and PlayStation. It's very similar, right?
Okay.
Of just the options that you will have on your upgrade paths. It's very comparable to that. And we just want to give players choice, So you have multiple avenues to get all this content when you're ready to play it.
And as you said, it'll originally launch with the Island and Scorched Earth, and the other maps will be rolling out on intervals. I think they have a graphic up there. There it is. So you can see there of the intervals and the order that things will come in. And I'm sure they'll show more information on the community maps a little bit later. But this is what you can expect to kind of the story content and the official content. This is kind of the timeline that we're working.
And let's talk about that story content,
Yeah.
right? Because now with Ultimate Survivor Edition on Switch, this is essentially, if you're a fan of ARK lore and the story, I mean, this is the most complete experience that you can get. I mean, with the
Handheld.
Handheld,
Handheld is where I'm
we've got the new cinematics. You teased one already. So you've got these new cinematics for the Island and Scorched. You're going to have the Scorched Ascension. You're going to have new voiceover from HLNA and Rockwell on all the creature dossiers, all the Explorer notes. Like, they're voicing all of that. So really, just when it comes to ARK lore, like, this is This is a complete experience, my friends.
It is.
And,
It is. It's really, again, it's hard to kind of state how much is actually going into this.
Yeah, it's
if we had like a sheet and listed every dino and everything that's going into it, I mean, you would be like, what? How's that possible?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is why it's really cool that you can now really take ARK with you on the go. And I know we've always had ARK Mobile and things like that, but this is the definitive ARK experience, and you can now experience that on the go.
Yeah, just as we're seeing on the stream right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in the palm of your hands, you've got it. Yeah, so we're super stoked on everything about it.
I think we're marching towards an October 25th launch day, right? We're projecting that, right?
Yes,
Still,
October 25th is our planned release date.
Awesome.
Can't wait for everyone to get their hands on it.
I am really excited, and you can get this. Let's just repeat. You can get your hands on it a lot quicker if you're in the
Come on down to PAX, right? We got the rest of the weekend. So
yep, you have the rest of the weekend.
We'll be there through Monday.
Be there through Monday. There are live demos. You get a good amount of time on these demos. You can check it out. You can check out both maps if you want to. Really come down and check and see what the team is doing.
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, if you head down to PAX, right, you're going to be able to check out the island in single player. You're going to be able to check out Scorched Earth in single player, and then you're going to be able to check out the island and Scorched in multiplayer as well.
Yeah.
So that's all there for people who come down and check out the PAX booth and maybe pick up a few cool items too while you're there.
Pick up a few cool items, but I really urge you to if you're in the area, because this is really, personally speaking, I think this is. I love to see that this happening. This kind of putting more energy into the Switch. Our community has been really vocal. We have a very vocal Switch community that has been waiting.
I've started hearing from them, and hello to all of you out there who I've spoken with already. And we hear you. All right, we're doing this for you guys. So.
And it's been a long time coming, and I'm glad a lot of these things have been in the works, and I haven't been able to speak on them, so it's really glad, and I'm happy that we.
It feels good when we can finally talk about this stuff,
we can talk about it and show it.
I know.
It looks good and it plays good. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It really feels good when you can put out a good product and talk about it. So are we missing anything? Was there anything that our bosses would tell us?
No. I mean, let's check our notes, Cedric. Right? But I think we've touched on everything. We've talked about the performance, right? We've touched on all of the new content that players are getting, all of these maps, all the improvements we've made to the game, and how again, it's in the palm of your hands. You've got the full. That's really what I keep coming back to, right? Is you've just got the full ARK experience in the palm of your hands, and it runs and plays great.
As you can see, it's right there on the stream, and you can see it in first person if you're down in the area, and you'll get to see it a lot closer if you're a current Switch member or current Switch user. October, start looking out. You'll start to see more energy going out, more promo stuff. But I'm really excited to get this in their hands. I can't wait to put my hands on it a little bit more and dig into it. I've always wanted a definitive ARK experience on the go. Especially my family always wonder what I do for a living. They're like, "What do you do for a living?" And I can now just pull out the Switch and I can show them this.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
It's everything that you want to experience. So thank you for spending some time with us. We'll go ahead and transition and get ready for our next guest. Some special guests coming in here.